Located between the Amazon, Atlantic forests, and Pantanal, the Cerrado is the largest savanna region in South America. Lurking among the arid grasslands and shrubbery, one finds such large mammals as the jaguar and the maned wolf. Taking shelter in many of the region's characteristic twisted and gnarled trees are hundreds of bird species, like the red-legged Seriema, the critically endangered Pampas macaw, and many more. There are also over 10,000 species of plants, almost half of which are found nowhere else in the world. The Cerrado is one of the most threatened and overexploited regions in Brazil, second only to the Atlantic forests in vegetation loss and deforestation. Unsustainable agriculture activities, particularly soy production and cattle ranching, as well as burning of vegetation for charcoal, continue to pose a major threat to the Cerrado's biodiversity. Despite its environmental importance, it is one of the least protected regions in Brazil. While in the Cerrado of Brazil, we were guests at the Pousada Trijunchal, which translates as Tri-Junction Inn. It is located between the states of Goiás, Bahia, and Minas Gerais.
Hello, my name is Valkyria. I'm a biologist and I manage the On Safari project at Cerrado. So we are in Brazil, and Cerrado is one of the 5 biomes that we have here. We are in the heart of Cerrado, the Brazilian savanna, here at Pousada Trijunchal Lodge. So here we work actually with maned wolves. This beautiful animal is emblematic. They represent Cerrado so well. We do conservation project here also. We do an ecotourism project. So if you come here, you can actually see these animals in the natural environment. You can follow them because we habituate them here to cars, so they get used to cars being around them. We don't interfere with the behavior, so it will be possible for you to experience having them in the nature, hunting, trying to find some fruits. They are so interesting, so amazing, and I hope you guys enjoy this experience and come here to Brazil to see maned wolves.
Valkyria's tracking expertise soon had us into a maned wolf sighting. Here we see a female that was known to have a pup at this time as well. Note that she's radio-collared. Note that this unique animal is a wolf in name only. It is, however, a canid, and therefore related to the wolf. Maned wolves are more closely related to the forest fox and bush dog, both of which are species from South America. The maned wolf's fox-like characteristics, such as a shaggy white-tipped tail and large ears, have earned it the nickname of fox on stilts. Maned wolves have chestnut red pelage over their large bodies and black pelage on their long, slender legs, feet, and muzzle. They have long red fur covering necks, backs, and chests, which they can stand on end to give the appearance of a mane. The maned wolf differs from the true wolves of the Northern Hemisphere in both diet and temperament. These gentle and very timid canids are solitary by nature. The maned wolf is near threatened in its native territory. This listing is due to loss of habitat by encroaching human populations, the introduction of certain diseases, and a belief that some of its organs have medicinal healing powers. Notably, about 80% of the maned wolf's diet is vegetarian. Much like true wolves of the Northern Hemisphere, the maned wolf has also been misunderstood and widely persecuted. Indeed, for years it was hunted and killed by farmers who believed that these canines were killing their poultry and livestock. The maned wolf's teeth and jaws make it hard for it to kill large prey, but it is often blamed because of its intimidating size. The maned wolf is listed as near threatened in its native range. The successfully domesticated Brazilian guinea pig, seen here in the wild, is found in Argentina, Brazil, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Venezuela. It is a common prey item of the maned wolf. A dramatic and conspicuous bird of the Cerrado is the red-legged Seriema. This species lives in the dry, open grasslands and scrub habitat of central and eastern Brazil to eastern Bolivia. They can be found as far south as Paraguay, Uruguay, and northern Argentina. They are among the largest ground-dwelling birds in the neotropics, second only to the rheas. A predator, the red-legged Seriema, is one of the few animals that will eat the venomous coral snake. They slam their prey to the ground or on hard surfaces such as rocks to kill it and break up any bones prior to eating. Seriemas have been known to run at speeds up to 40 miles per hour and only fly when absolutely necessary to escape a predator or reach a perch. If prey is too large to swallow whole, a Seriema will hold the item in its beak while using its very sharp, sickle-like claw found on the second toe to tear it into smaller bites. Tropodacrys calaris is a species of grasshopper in the family Romeliidae. A large South American grasshopper, it is also known as the blue-winged grasshopper, although they vary greatly in coloration. It is common in the Cerrado, as well as other forests and dry areas of South America from Colombia to Argentina. In parts of northern Argentina, they are considered a pest. They are also popular among insect and terrarium enthusiasts. The red and green macaw, also known as the green-winged macaw, is a large, mostly red macaw of the genus Ara. This is the largest of the genus Ara, widespread in the forests and woodlands of northern and central South America. However, in common with other macaw species, in recent years there has been a marked decline in its numbers due to habitat loss and illegal capture for the parrot trade. The green-winged macaw can readily be distinguished from the scarlet macaw, with which it is sometimes confused. While the breasts of both birds are bright red, the upper wing covert feathers of the green-winged macaw is mostly green, as opposed to mostly yellow or a strong mix of yellow and green in the scarlet macaw. In addition, the green-winged macaw has characteristic red lines around the eyes, formed by rows of tiny feathers on the otherwise bare white skin patch. This is one of the largest differences from a scarlet macaw to the casual viewer. Iridescent teal feathers are surrounded by red on the tail. If seen together, the green-winged macaw is clearly larger than the scarlet macaw as well. In terms of length, this species is second only in size to the hyacinth macaw, the largest of the macaws. The red and green macaw attains a total body length of 90 to 95 centimeters, which is 35 to 37 inches in adults. Here in the Cerrado, the red and green macaw is regularly seen in the treetops. Its large size and dramatic coloring make it a favorite among birders visiting the Cerrado.
feeding. I'm waiting for me. Oh, look at that. You know,
We are actually in a place where we have the wetland of Cerrado that we call it vereda. So veredas is this kind of vegetation over there with the palm trees and sometimes lakes, rivers, and even water under the soil. It's a special place because a lot of birds use this place to build this nest, and also is a water resource for animals everywhere. So this is why we have a lot of projects happening here, like the Dwarf Caiman project that studies this endangered species that we have here at the lake.
Is there anything threatening this right now?
Yeah, agriculture farms that sometimes can use pesticides, for example, and these pesticides can be problematic to the environment. They can be washed out to the lake, for example, and then they can hurt the wildlife and also interfere with the plants. For the palm trees, as you can see, some palm trees are dead right now, and we don't know why.
Do you ever have drought issues as well?
Yeah, we do. So 20 years earlier, we had a lot of water going in the front of the lodge, for example. And now you can walk in the middle of the lake because the lake is dry.
Wow.
This part here is still with a lot of water. You can see the water is so clear. You can see the fish, and you can see the dwarf caiman at night.
As evening descends on the Cerrado, we continue driving along, looking all the while for more wildlife. A commonly seen canid of the Cerrado is the crab-eating fox. This species is relatively common throughout its range from the coastal and montane regions in northern Colombia and Venezuela, south to the provinces of Entre Rios and adjacent northern Buenos Aires, Argentina, Bolivia, and Argentina to the Atlantic forests of East Brazil. This particular fellow didn't seem especially frightened at our presence. She simply trotted along to keep ahead of us, occasionally stopping now and then to mark her territory. The scissor-tailed nightjar is a species of nightjar in the family Caprimulgidae. It is found in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, and Uruguay. Its natural habitats are dry savanna, subtropical or tropical seasonally wet or flooded lowland grassland, and heavily degraded former forest. The male is notable for its very long and deeply forked tail, which is gray with white inner webbing. We encounter a false coral snake while driving along the road. It is notable that some species of false coral snakes are mildly venomous. The false coral snake's diet in the wild is made up of lizards, birds, and small mammals, sometimes snakes, amphibians, and eggs of birds. The dwarf caiman, Paleosuchus pulpibrosus, Cuvier's dwarf caiman, is most commonly found in the wetlands of Brazil, French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana, and Venezuela. Widespread throughout the Orinoco and Amazon basins, this species inhabits areas extending from Colombia, Venezuela, and Guyana south to Sao Paulo and upper Rio Paraguay in southern Brazil, and west to the Rio Pastaza in Ecuador. The dwarf caiman can be found near rivers and inundated savanna areas, including the Orinoco and Amazon rivers, as well as those in eastern Paraguay. The species prefers clean, fast, clear-moving streams or rivers in forested areas containing waterfalls and rapids. This species mostly inhabits fordable freshwater, avoiding salty, briny waters. It prefers cooler waters compared to other caimans. Across inhabited areas, the dwarf caiman has been known to occupy streams of varying sizes, where they are spotted resting near the shorelines. The dwarf caiman is also terrestrial and has been seen relaxing on piles of small rocks and residing near decaying trees. Similarly, it is known to dwell in burrows, which are up to 1.5 to 3.5 meters long. Populations in southern Brazil and Venezuela are limited to waters with very low nutrients. The dwarf caiman can be found resting on rocks or in shallow water with its back exposed on the surface and its head facing into the sun. Preferring colder temperatures, they can survive in cool conditions, down to 6 degrees Celsius. Courtship and copulation take place at the end of the dry season. At this time, the males are seen to lift their heads high and hold their tails almost vertically out of the water. The males release what is described to be a roar-like sound. The description of the roaring varies and is commonly heard as simply a grunt-like call. The varying sounds and noises indicate the actual complexity of mating rituals within this species. The male, which mates with multiple females, performs distinctive mating displays, then approaches any receptive female. The actual mating process can last anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes or even up to an entire day. It can also occur repeatedly over several days. Most wild females are only able to breed once a year. Females lay 10 to 25 eggs in a nest that has been prepared by both the female and the male. Eggs hatch after 90 days. Males are sexually mature at 1.1 meters in length, while females are sexually mature at about 1 meter in length. Males reach a maximum length of 1.3 to 1.5 meters, while females attain a maximum length of about 1.2 meters. The IUCN currently rates the dwarf caiman as lower risk and of least concern. However, this is only true in the Amazon. Here in the Cerrado, the dwarf caiman is considered to be threatened due to dramatic loss of habitat. Pampas deer belong to the Cervidae, the family of the New World deer. Pampas deer are found in South America. They occur in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Their habitat includes water and hills, often with winter drought and grass that is high enough to cover a standing deer. Many of them live on the Pantanal wetlands and other areas of annual flooding cycles. Our guide, Paulo, spotted this ferruginous pygmy owl in the trees near the lodge. Note the eye spots on the back of this owl's head. The ferruginous pygmy owl is a partly diurnal bird and may be seen in bright daylight on exposed perches and may also sing by day. Principal activity is at dusk or around dawn, and they are sometimes vocally active on clear, calm nights. It roosts during the daytime within the shelter of foliage in trees or bushes, but always seems alert. When excited, this owl will cock its tail and flick it from side to side. And just before dawn, we encounter a male maned wolf.
think it's tall.
Curl-crested jays are native to the Cerrados of central and southern and the Caatinga of northeastern Brazil. They live in groups of 6 to 12 individuals, moving from food source to food source during the day. They leave a lookout nearby to keep watch for predators. The curl-crested jay is a generalist, eating almost anything, including eggs and nestlings of other birds, insects, arthropods, and small vertebrates such as geckos. It also likes palm nuts and is particularly fond of seeds of the native Inga lorina and the fruits of the introduced umbrella tree. The southern crested caracara is a large bird of prey usually found in open and semi-open areas. It often forages on the ground and is an opportunistic hunter and scavenger. Note the black cap, red face, and dark brown and white body with a barred breast and barred underwings. In flight, shows well-fingered wingtips and a protruding head. The scaled dove is a distinctive pale gray dove with black feathers and edges giving a scaly appearance. The song is an easily remembered, continuous repetition of polka pow. In terms of behavior, appearance, and chromosome type, the yellow-faced parrot is not a typical Amazon parrot. Thus, it has been classified in its own genus, Alepiosita. The yellow-faced parrot also has 2 color phases, one of which is male-linked. The rufous-colored sparrow is a handsomely patterned sparrow from highlands of Chiapas south to temperate South America. It occurs in open and semi-open habitats such as villages, towns, and farmland with hedges and brushy thickets. The choppy blackbird is monotypic within the genus Norimaspar. It occurs in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay. Its natural habitats are dry savanna, subtropical or tropical seasonally wet or flooded lowland grassland, pastureland, and heavily degraded former forests. The burnished buff tanager is generally common and usually seen singly or in pairs. As with all tanagers, it is a largely frugivorous species. The black-tufted marmoset, sometimes called the black-penciled marmoset and known as the microestrela in Portuguese, inhabits numerous areas throughout Brazil. Marmosets are typically resilient creatures who have the ability to thrive in many habitats, including busy cities such as Rio de Janeiro, where black-tufted marmosets are actually quite common. They are also perfectly happy in lush and healthy primary forests, where they live high up in treetops just below the canopy. They show a surprising preference for disturbed or secondary growth forests. Historically, their small size has made black-tufted marmosets popular pets. This trend has allowed the species to be gradually introduced to several areas throughout Brazil where they are not native, including the capital city. Despite their resilience as a species, and though they remain quite common throughout Brazil, black-tufted marmoset populations are currently in decline.
Wood or something like this, we call it pau santo. This actually is really important plant here in Cerrado. It's the first tree, it's a pioneer tree. When we have fires, natural fires, or even other kinds of fires happening here, the grassland is going to die first, and then all the grass is being reborn. Some seeds is going to start to germinate because of the fire, and this is actually the first tree that we're going to see. If you look around, you're going to see this tree all over. The deer, sorry. I think it's a... No, I cannot tell for sure. Male.
The burrowing owl is a small, long-legged owl found throughout open landscapes of North and South America. Burrowing owls can be found in grasslands, rangelands, agricultural areas, deserts, or any other open dry area with low vegetation. They nest and roost in burrows. Unlike most owls, burrowing owls are often active during the day, although they tend to avoid the midday heat. Like many other kinds of owls, though, burrowing owls do most of their hunting from dusk until dawn, where they can use their night vision and hearing to their advantage. A familiar species of relatively dry savanna, scrub, and forest edges, the white-eared puffbird typically is found in pairs, perching on exposed branches.
When you're done with that, sure.
The white-rumped mongita is a large flycatcher of savannas with scattered trees close to water. It is usually seen foraging in pairs on the ground or perched on top of bushes, fences, or wires. It is mostly silent. The white woodpecker is a strikingly plumaged, medium-sized woodpecker, mostly white with dark wings and back contrasting with yellow goggles with a dark eye stripe. Males have a yellowish nape. It is often seen in small groups foraging in open areas, savannas, and dry forests. A Sayaka tanager is a large tanager with a strong bill. It occurs in a variety of habitats from forest edges to agricultural areas, urban parks, and gardens. The peach-fronted parakeet is a distinctive and very noisy parakeet of open woodlands, savannas, and agricultural areas. Valkyria took us to an area of the Cerrado where we could see two different species of carnivorous plants, the bladderwort
Tricularia here, and the Drosera over here,
and the sundew.
A very beautiful one. Beautiful one right here.
The Paraguay green racer is a species of medium-sized diurnal snake belonging to the Dipsatidae family. It is characterized as being a primarily terrestrial species, but has also been reported from up to 7 meters above the ground, on vegetation, or even in roofs and close to human constructions. The Paraguay green racer is considered to be a generalist species, as it uses a large number of available vertebrates as prey, its diet consisting mainly of lizards, amphibians, birds, and mammals.
About superstitions with man wolf, people actually believe, men actually believe that if they have the man wolf eye on them, they can use the eye and look for any woman that they want, and this woman is going to fall in love with him. So they actually believe that they need to take the eye when the animal is still alive, so this can work. It's the same kind of belief like the rabbit foot, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that they do, and this is really cruel, also really cruel, they take part of the anus of the animal, and also needs to be alive to when you take it off, and you can have this part of this animal inside your wallet and they believe that you're going to bring you money. So this also, people like to normally they kill maned wolves because they believe that they are werewolves. So yeah, it's really sad. What we try to do is do environmental education in schools since with little kids, so they actually understand that it's just stories, just part of old culture, but it's not true. It's not something that they need to do, and maybe little by little we can change this and we can keep maned wolves even safer. But yeah, it's dealing with people is crazy because you can see all the cruelty that humans can have. So yeah, it's not funny stories. So this beautiful flower here is Caliandra. Caliandra is the flower that represents Cerrado. And we name one of the maned wolves Caliandra because of this. Around here they actually, sometimes they say that the name in Portuguese is like devil flower because it's a big red flower. And we have different species that look like this. All of them are called Caliandra. Some of them are more pink color than red like this. So remember the tree that we saw yesterday that I said is like a pioneer tree. Whenever we have fire, we have this tree coming first. This is the fruit. Pau Santo is the name in Portuguese. Macaws love it.
The saffron finch is a tanager from South America that is common in open and semi-open areas in lowlands outside the Amazon basin. They have a pleasant but repetitious song which, combined with their appearance, has led them to being kept as caged birds in many areas. The swallow-tailed hummingbird is a large, unmistakable hummingbird commonly encountered in both open and semi-open habitats, including forest edges, plantations, and urban areas. Males and females have a dark blue head and throat, a dark green back and belly, and a long, deep-forked, dark blue tail. The species makes a loud buzzing sound in flight and also gives a fast tick-tick-tick call. The very large chalk-browed mockingbird has a song that is quite variable and includes the songs of other bird species. The blue and yellow macaw is an enormous parrot with a long pointed tail. It is unmistakable. It is found in lowland rainforests and savannas from eastern Panama to Brazil, often in more open habitats than other macaw species. Usually found in pairs which fly together and perch in the canopy. It can gather in small groups, especially at fruiting trees or clay licks. It nests in cavities. The rufous-tailed jacamar is a handsome, slender, green and rusty bird of humid tropical lowlands. It lives in evergreen forest, often at edges and around adjacent clearings. It perches upright at mid-heights on vines or other exposed perches and sallies out for flying insects, especially butterflies, dragonflies, and wasps. Note the very long, slender black bill, like a giant hummingbird. Throat is white on male and buffy on the female. This is a male. The hepatic tanager is a large, stocky tanager. Several separate populations occur from the southwestern United States to South America, probably comprising multiple different species. Northern birds prefer mountainous areas with mixed pine-oak forest. South American birds are found in a variety of forested habitats, from open woodlands in the lowlands to scrubby areas in the high Andes. The song is sweet like the American robin, mostly clear phrases with some harsher tones. The white-eyed parakeet is a medium-sized parakeet with a long, graduated tail. It has a mostly green body with variable amounts of red spots on the head, neck, and shoulders. It has bare white eye rings and a pale bill. The white-eyed parakeet is often found in large, noisy groups in a variety of habitats, including forests, savanna, mangroves, and urban areas.
you.